Hello, students. A very beautiful morning to you all. I want to believe your ninth rest was awesome. Okay, today we are just going to do a bit kind of a revision on the topic verbs. The other day we had a conversation on verbs, and the focus was on transitive and intransitive verbs. So today, what I'm going to be doing with you is just a quick revision on what transitive and intransitive verbs are. Okay, so just give me a second to share my slides with you. Okay, unlocking the power of verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, so I also believe that you can see my screen. Um, okay, okay. So right about now we are going to have a very quick discussion on this discussion. Okay, so let me show my slides. Okay, good. I think we are good to go. All right, then. So here's the content of what we're going to be discussing today. So we have understanding verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, putting knowledge into practice. Of course, we're going to do a little class fun. Then there is a home fun for you to solve. Okay, now let's begin with what verbs are. Okay, of course, verbs are action words, like right? We also have verbs that are stative words, like words that can state the state of being, and we also have verbs that can describe an action in a sentence, right? Now, we can categorize them into transitive and intransitive verbs. I like to explain the roots of this word transitive. You know the word transit, that is a journey, right? Movement from one place to another. You can also see transition, right? From that word. So it is this class of words we got transitive from. So the idea of being transitive is simply um, the act of moving from one point to another. In other words, when they say transitive verbs, we're referring to the act of connecting the subject from subject to object. In other words, transitive verbs are verbs that can attract an object. In other words, verbs that can connect the action of a subject to an object. That's what we refer to as transitive verbs. So it's also important to know that transitive verbs are verbs that need objects, direct objects in particular, to make a complete sense. Okay? So now these verbs are you can see them as verbs that need a partner to make a complete sense. Okay, so now let's see, for example, the sentence, the teacher addressed the student. The teacher addressed the student. Here we have an object, the teacher. We have a verb, addressed. Then we have a subject, the student. So if we just say the teacher addressed, for instance, I come to you and I say the teacher addressed, you might be wondering what or who did the teacher address? So it doesn't make a complete thought at that point. But if I add an object to the sentence, in other words, the receiver of the action or that which the action is about, then it will give you a clearer idea of what the action is talking about. So when I say the teacher addressed, it doesn't make a complete sense. But when I say the teacher addressed the students, it then makes a complete sense. Okay? We have verbs like borrow, bring, promise, etc., right? All these verbs would need an object to be able to convey their complete thoughts. For instance, I borrowed the pencil from um, Face, or I borrowed the pencil. So pencil here is a direct object. Or I promise him um, a bicycle. So promise him. Him here becomes the object of the sentence, etc. So that's how transitive verbs work. Now we have intransitive verbs. They call it a standalone verbs, meaning it can actually end a sentence. It can stand without an object. Just unlike transitive verbs, intransitive verbs do not necessarily need objects to complete their thoughts. They can end a sentence and it will make sense. Okay. Now we have yeah, exactly. So I've explained that. So now look at the sentence. I can run. I can run. The sentence I can run here is the verb. But run here does not need an object after it to make a complete sense. If I come to you and I say, I can run, you will get the general idea behind that statement, right? You understand what I'm talking about. That is intransitive verbs. They do not need an object to make a complete sense. So intransitive, meaning they do not transit, they do not necessarily need to transit from subject to object, right? You can just have your object and the intransitive verb. Sorry, you can just have your subject rather and your intransitive verb, and it will make a complete sentence, just like the sentence. You know, I can run. I is the subject, can is a helping verb, then run is the main verb. That's all you have there, and it makes a complete sense. So these are what we refer to as intransitive verbs. Okay, we still have other examples like run, rain, die. You know, you can use these words to make sentences without necessarily having a direct object after them. Okay, okay. So now I guess that's very, very clear. So we can now talk about, let's just catch a little fun with this exercise. Now, so there are words here in parentheses: arrive, smile, die, slap, stop, cut. These are different verbs. Now, I want us to complete these sentences using um, from those verbs in parentheses. Yeah. So you're going to pick one verb from the parentheses and complete these different sentences, right? So the first sentence, the car has dash. What would be the verb that will fit into this sentence? All right, arrived. The car has arrived. Arrived here is the perfect verb to complete this sentence. And you can see that it is an intransitive verb because it does not attract any object. The next sentence, I can dash the rope. What will be the verb to complete the sentence? Cut. Cut here is the verb to complete the sentence because cut is the perfect verb that can complete the sentence. So what kind of verb is that? It is a transitive verb because it attracts an object. That is, cut the rope. Not just I can cut, but cut the rope. So the rope here is the object of the sentence. The next sentence, she dashes, or she dashed her sister. She dashed her sister. So which word can complete the sentence correctly? The word that can complete the sentence correctly is slap. She slapped her sister. She slapped her sister. In this case, we are using another transitive verb because it attracts a direct object. She, the subject, slapped the verb. Her sister is the direct object. Okay? All right, the next sentence. The chicken dash. The chicken dash. What What verb in parentheses can complete this sentence? Died. Died here is an intransitive verb because it does not attract any object. So the chicken died. The chicken died. So there is no object in the sentence, and it's a verb died. It's an intransitive verb because it does not attract any subjects. Okay? Or any object rather. Then the next is we almost learn to dash. We almost learn to dash. What's the verb? Smile. We almost learn to smile. We almost learn to smile. So smile here is also an intransitive verb because it does not attract any object. Okay? So then the next one is the last one actually. Let us dash the car. Let us dash the car. So which word will complete this sentence? The word here is stop. Let us stop the car. Let us stop the car. Stop is a transitive verb because it connects the subject and the object. In other words, it attracts an object to complete the sentence. So these are different sentences. We have just tried to use both transitive and intransitive verbs to complete them. Okay, here is an assignment for us all to do. So, so, um, so you're going to tell if the verbs here are transitive or intransitive, right? There are different sentences here. So you're going to try to tell if the verbs in the sentences are transitive or intransitive. The first sentence is, she writes a letter. I won't give you the answer. So I expect you to give me the feedback through the Educare assignment platform, right? So what I'm going to do for you, I will write the assignment out also on the body, the description of this video, so you can see and remember to solve the assignment and submit on your Educare assignment platform. The next sentence is, he painted a picture. He painted a picture. The third sentence, they eat sandwiches. They eat sandwiches. The next one, she laughs daily. She laughs daily. The next, he sleeps. He sleeps. The next, the baby cried all through the journey. The baby cried all through the journey. So your job is simply to identify if the verb is transitive or intransitive. All right, students, I want to believe that we've had a very brilliant time discussing transitive and intransitive verbs. So I'll be expecting your assignment as soon as you go through this video. All right, so students, thank you for watching and do have a brilliant day. Goodbye.